welcome to a new week, a new vlog. I dyed my hair, as you saw in the last clip of the last vlog. It's sort of, I did like a dusky purple on top and then more pink at the ends. I don't know if that's really showing up on camera, but I don't know. It's fun to be back feeling this color again. It's funny, I feel like this is my natural color, and whenever my hair is not this color, it just feels wrong and I don't feel like myself. But anyway, I'm quite liking this view as well with my cool artwork behind me. This would make a good, like if I put the camera on a tripod right here for one of my regular videos, I think that'd be a good framing. Anyway, it's Monday and I'm feeling kind of like, I don't know, feeling kind of anxious today. I can like, you know, when you sort of just like feel it in your chest. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to do. This is my last full week of work for the year. I'm taking 3 days off next week over Christmas. Which gives away when this vlog was filmed, I guess. Taxes are a thing that I'm thinking about with my accountant right now, working through all the things and like, I don't know, answering questions about transactions and I don't know. That's never fun. And I just constantly worry that I've done something wrong and I don't know. So maybe that's what is leading to the anxious feeling today. But right now I'm gonna kick my week off on a creative note. I think I mentioned a couple of vlogs back that I'm working on a rebranding for creator sessions, the series that we do at ConvertKit where we bring on artists and they share their work, whether it's their songs, their photography, or whatever it is, and tell the stories behind it. It's been slow going on this branding so far and I've not given it enough focus, but it's one of my goals to get it done before the end of the year. So here we are, Monday, December 14th. And I've got to dig in and really make some solid progress today. Last week on a meeting, I stupidly made the mistake, like, okay, I never like to share designs when they're not ready for feedback. I always want to get to a point where I'm happy with it and I'm like, okay, I'm happy, or I have questions maybe and I want to see what other people think. I don't like sharing things that I already know there are problems with and I already know how to solve them, if that makes sense. But I don't know, we were joking about the color scheme of this one looking like a sports team, and so I showed it to the team to like see if that instantly came to their mind too. And then they just started going in on the like giving design feedback on the rest of it, and I'm like, oh, I'm not ready for this right now. Like, I don't, like, in the nicest possible way, I don't care what you think right now. Any like designers out there watching, you know what I mean when I say that, right? Like there's a point when you're just not interested in feedback because you're still wanting to work through your own ideas, and that's the stage I'm in, and I shouldn't have shared it. It's my own fault. So now I feel like I have my work cut out for me in convincing the team almost in the direction for this branding, because the initial version they saw, which was like you know, an early version of what I want it to be, they didn't like it, and there was a lot of negative feedback, or like, you know, things that needed to change or things that they didn't think were right. And so now when I show the final version, they're gonna be thinking about that one that they didn't like and sort of comparing it, and if it's not different enough, they're just gonna see it in the negative way. So I'm disappointed in myself that I did that. Lesson learned, and that even internally you have to treat these projects like a client project sometimes and be presenting things in the way to show it in their best light, and I definitely didn't do that. So that's my fault. Let me show you what I'm talking about actually. This is what I showed them. This is sort of where we're at with it right now. The feedback was that it looked too masculine, they didn't like the font, it looked too sporty. This yellow line looked like a noodle was one piece of feedback. I'm like, okay, mate. But yeah, so I'm annoyed because this is the direction in general that I want to go. I like the condensed typeface. I am going to try a thinner weight though, and I like this like line of movement. Our idea is, here's just some other ideas of how I had it laid out. The idea is that these lines will be different depending on the type of creator showing. So like this is based on a sound wave, this idea here, but for other ones they might be like steam lines, like food, or a film reel, like a photographer or a filmmaker. But yeah, I've got to get this into a better position today. I've got to make it look perhaps a little bit more delicate and refined than it is right now, maybe is the words to use. But yeah, I don't know, like whatever I show, if it's something in this format, even with a different font, they're going to be comparing it to this. So I'm mad at myself for showing something before it was ready, lesson learned, but now it's time to work on this and get it into a state where I am happy with it and I am wanting to share it for feedback. So let's go. I got some coffee, which is probably like not a great idea to drink coffee when you're feeling anxious, but I'm hoping it'll activate focus mode, and we can knuckle down and spend like a solid hour focused on this. So let's see where we get. And now I've made a cup of tea to enjoy with my afternoon work session. I think I'm getting to a better place. I'm really liking this lighter weight font. And I know you would have seen me just then switching between a million different fonts. So the original one I was using, let me come back over here, was, I believe it was this one. Yeah, was this one. So see how it's chunkier and it's also got like sharper edges to it. So on the edge of the C there, it's like a, yeah, like a hard angle. This font that I've tried down here has curved edges to it. See how it like curves on that side? And I just think that that curviness to it works better for our brand. I tried it in a bolder weight as well, which I do think is better than the bolder weight of the other one. But I decided to try, I'd been trying a lighter font with the same thick squiggle. Let me see if I had that somewhere. No, I must have deleted it, but I put the squiggle behind this here. Anyway, I decided to try and like lighten up the whole thing. So that's when I've ended up with this here, which I like. I think it looks a lot more elegant maybe than it was looking before. Less sporty for sure. And this like lighter chalk line is working for me as well. I do want to like weave it in and out, sort of like, well, yeah, like I've done here. See, it weaves in and out of the text. But, you know, it's not good to spend time on that when you haven't even settled on things yet. I also want to animate it. So this will sort of like animate in. And the idea is that we start stacked like this, and then the letters will sort of like, the words, I mean, will squish together and become this here. Because I was really struggling to bring in the ConvertKit logo and the creator name with this stacked layout in this 16:9 format, which is, you know, the main way this is going to be used. So it's sort of going to be a more dynamic identity, I guess, which I kind of like. Sort of like boom, 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 and then squish together to appear like this. I don't know if that's making sense to you, but it's making sense to me. And then I'm liking this for the creator's name. So I've used a bolder weight, like a heavier weight of the font. This is what it looked like when it was the same. And now that I'm revisiting it, I'm like, I don't know, is that better? But I had some other ones somewhere, yeah. I tried like putting a background on it. I tried different colors. And I think I like this with it yellow and in a bolder weight. So it's sort of gonna stand out from the rest. And then I've put this sort of, yeah, gradient background behind it so that it pops and stands out from the squiggle. Anyway, that's where I'm at with it so far. I've started trying to apply it to thumbnail. So like this is an option for the YouTube video thumbnail, for example. I think I need to get a second one to try it out in, because if you're doing a template, it's always good to try more than one version. This was another idea. But I think I'm liking the big, like having this large on the screen, because the creator's name would be in the title as well. Anyway, and now to like further push this and check if it's gonna work how I want it to, I'm gonna think through a lower thirds. So like that's the bit that sort of comes along here when someone's talking on screen, like what could that look like? And I'm also gonna think through like sort of just make a website header, like a quick mock-up to see what that could be like. And then that'll tell us if this identity can actually work or not. Yeah, but I feel happier with this. I feel like we're getting somewhere. I did start to play around with some different color palettes. But I am really liking this whole like dark navy-ish gray and yellow situation. But what I did do as well was make this cream instead of white. You probably can't tell on camera, but yeah, it's cream and not fully white, and I kind of like the look that gives. And I think going for a completely different color palette, like I tried some here, like what could it look like if it was dark red, for example, I'm just, I don't know, just not as much of a fan, to be honest. Tried navy and red too. I just like the yellow. For some reason it feels like it should be yellow to me, so we're gonna go with it for now, and I'm gonna get this into a state where I can actually show the team and present it, and hopefully have it be something that they like too, because it's presented in a proper way. Let's see. It's a new day, same hoodie, you know how it is, work from home life. Yeah, yesterday, as per usual, ended with a bunch of meetings. Some exciting news is that we hired a new designer. Made the offer, they accepted. That is, yeah, super exciting. It was so sad to like have to decline the other finalists though, because like honestly I'm like, I wish I could have hired all of them, but unfortunately I don't have the option to grow my team by that much right now. But yeah, really proud that we ended up with such incredibly high quality candidates for that last round. Yeah, and now that that process is over, I think I'm going to take a lot of the learnings that I've had from this hiring process and put them into some videos. You know, some things I noticed when looking through portfolios, how to stand out in your application, things like that. Yeah, anyway, yesterday I shared where I got to for feedback, and it's not been great. I was a little frustrated yesterday by it because the feedback isn't super clear, and it's just like, I don't know. I'm like, is this a situation where we just have different tastes? But at the same time, I want it to be something that the team is proud of, you know? Not just want something that I personally think looks cool, but I do think this is looking cool. I'm gonna keep continuing with it today, but this is where I got to. I can't remember if I showed you. So yeah, we have this thinner type, and I sort of like made it wrap in and out of the letters, which is looking cool, I think. This is how it'll look in the lower thirds. So like, you know, a little caption on the video. Yeah, I'm liking it. I started playing around with seeing what it would look like with not italicized text, but I like the italics. I don't know. I'm gonna try some different color schemes. Someone said that it looks too techie, and so I want to see if maybe it's the like dark background that's why it's coming across that way. So I'm gonna try some different color schemes today. But I'm at a point where I'm like, I really like this. I think this looks cool. I think it fits our mood board. I think it fulfills the brief. And so it's hard for me to like, you know, think about what to change. So now it's time to loop the other designers in, I guess, and get their help on it. So we'll see where we can get to today. And yeah, I'm gonna knuckle in right now and try some different lighter color schemes. Like here's an example of one I started on earlier. Let's see how we go. So I tried a bunch of colorways. You have to excuse the afternoon sunlight coming in here. I still really like the original. I still really like this sort of, you know, navy background with the yellow on top. I also tried this new. This is a handwritten with instead of using the text. I feel like it softens it a little bit. I don't know, I'm just trying to get away from that techie feel that some people on the team had without like changing the design up completely. Anyway, I still really like this. Then I tried a few more colorways. This was more like an olivey green, a light version, which I just don't think is as strong. I don't like it as much. This is kind of interesting, this sort of like, yeah, dark green, but more of a bluey tinge to it. And then I really like this one as well. It's sort of warmer. I think this is the color that they call greige, when it's like I mean, it's gray, but it's also kind of brown. I don't know. I really like it. And I started playing around with, I don't know, thinking about some web stuff for this, like having this be in the side, having the logo be just the logo mark with the name extending when you hover on it. I don't know. That's the next step, and I really don't want to move too far onto this until we get the brand itself sorted. But yeah, have shared this for feedback, and now we wait and cross our fingers that we're onto a winner. I really like it, but I would be keen to know what you think in the comments. Hopefully by the time you see this vlog, we've made a decision. But yeah, would love to know what you think. I'm really liking this, personally. Now, before I have my afternoon of meetings, as is a common occurrence these days, I'm fitting in a few other things. I wrote a blog post about our brand campaign that just launched, which maybe I'll talk about in a future video. I might do like an actual proper whole overview video about that process, but basically we launched some new ads. They are beautiful. Let me just mute it a little bit and play this for you. And I don't know, they're gorgeous, and they show creators in their element, really. I'm really proud to have led this. Anyway, I wrote a blog post about that, so I was just putting together some imagery for it, and that's gonna be published on the ConvertKit blog. I've got a couple of other, like, hopefully quick things I need to do, and then I want to try and fit in a full hour of strategy, 2021 strategy stuff, because that's what we're going to talk about in our brand team meeting today. So I want to come prepared with my thoughts, obviously. So I got to get them in more coherent order to present them to my team. All right, let's do this. Hello friends, yet another day in this, what I'm sure is turning out to be a very long vlog. It is Wednesday, and yesterday I feel like we sort of closed a loop on some feedback in this project that I'm working on, and I was able to cut through and fully understand what, you know, the team were meaning in the feedback they were giving. And we've kind of ended up a little bit back where we started. That sometimes happens in a design project. Anyway, I think we discovered that the weight of the type was the problem. So this over here that I had before, I think this was extra bold and it was feeling too sporty, right? Was the feedback that I got on that one. And so I may have overcorrected a little when I went down this light route. I mean, I do think it looks cool, but it gave other people techie vibes. So what I've done now is sort of look at these three different weights. So we have semi-bold, medium, light, or is it called thin? Let me just double check that. It's called light. And I think what I'm gonna go for is the semi-bold, because I like that it holds the space better than the medium does. Well, first of all, it's this new font that has the rounded terminal, so it's less sporty looking, and also it's way less, you know, thick than the extra bold. So I think this is a good balance, and this is what I'm gonna run with. I'm going to attempt to mock up an animation now to sort of fully get across what my thoughts are. We'll hire someone who's actually a professional to make the real animation, but I think that's needed to present this brand to the wider team and get people on board and excited about it and signing off on it. So yeah, that's what we're doing next. First though, I'm gonna make another coffee. I already had one today, but it's time for another. Okay, I have spent, let me check my timer, 3 hours animating so far today, and I'm really happy, honestly, with where this has ended up. I think I might actually just play it on screen right here, rather than record my screen as I show you. But yeah, it's this, this is what I had in mind from looking at the flat images, and I'm really proud of myself for having been able to bring it to life in animation. There was a few, oops, I hit my microphone. There's a few tricky bits with it, like figuring out how to have this line here always be behind some parts of the letters, but in front of others. Oh, I just realized that it's not working on that bit. I need to do a tweak there. Anyway, this was tricky to get this working. See how it comes through this O? so it's overlapping on this side but not on this side. And like while the thing is moving, I don't know, it was hard, but I'm really happy with where I've ended up with it. Yay! I think I'm just gonna prep a couple of other views now, like to show that idea of the lines changing based on the type of creator who's doing the session. And then I think I'll be ready to like fully present this to the wider team. I think we've settled on a color scheme we're happy with. It's pretty much very similar to the original one, as you will see, but you know, sometimes you have to go through this process of trying out a bunch of things to, I don't know, settle on one and for it to really feel right. It's not always right straight away. You don't always know. That's what I mean. Anyway, I'm happy with where this has ended up. I was feeling a little bit of despair earlier this week, as you probably could tell in the vlog, but now I'm feeling good about it. I'm proud of what I've done. The team seems to like it. The designers anyway, so I'll share it wider with the team and see what they think. But I'm gonna end this vlog here because I'm aware it has been very, very, very long. Thanks for watching and for hanging out with me as I tackle this project. Next steps from here, once I get like, you know, the full team buy-in on this brand, is to start designing the website for it, which I'm really excited about. And I think I might stream a little bit as I do that, like do some live designing over on Twitch. So follow me on Twitch. There's a like my channel name right there if you're not already, and if you want to see that when it does happen. But yeah, that'll be fun. Thanks for watching this vlog. Hope you have a good week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.